In this video, I'll teach you how to create movement to the sweet notes, the chord tones. You won't look at the pentatonic scale the same way again, because this lead fill technique is a game changer. It was for me. Let's get into it. This classic tune has 4 chords in it. Let's look at the full bar chords. B minor, E minor, G major 7, F sharp 7, then it goes back to B minor. Those 4 chords are still within the structure of the B minor pentatonic scale. The goal here is to create the rhythm groove we're actually creating movement to some target notes, and a great starting place is to use the root, the main note of each chord. Check out this demo so we can see these movements in context. If this lesson's helpful, hit that thumbs up button. I really do appreciate your support. So as you heard, the magic really happens when you create movement to those target notes. For the B minor, we're really riding this note here in the 9th fret of the D strings, a B note. Just a small phrase that kind of gets right back to that note that connects. It really is a sweet note. It's a money note. So I like to use that little phrase. So slight bend on 9 of the G string and hitting 9 quickly. And then 7 on the G, 9 on the D string. It really fits well with that rhythm. I'll leave a link for this backing track so you can practice these concepts. But the goal, and I'll show you toward the end of the video, to be able to do this on your own. Just grab your guitar, create a little rhythm, and play these little phrases, these lead fills in between the chords. So they just kind of lock right in there. Another one. 9 on the A, 7 on the D string, back to A string, the 9th fret, 7, 9 on the D. That in itself, it might be a challenge for some of you, And it might be easy for some of you, but the key is getting that rhythm locked in. You have this pulse, kind of the groove of the song. So I'd like to just use that, the low root to, which is in the 7th fret of the E string, and then striking the chord, and then hitting the root twice and striking the chord like this. But with a little more movement with your right hand, check this out. Those little phrases, those lead fills, just fit right in. Now moving to the E minor chord, same kind of movement, but we're targeting the low E note here. And then adding some phrases in there. I like to take my pinky off here, makes it a E minor 7, and then enhancing that even more is to add that pinky down there on the E string in the 10th fret. So just taking it off here, so you can slide up 2 frets and back down. It's kind of hard to keep everything intact, but practice it. It sounds great. I like to get my thumb behind the neck a little bit with this kind of playing. Just gives me, like, I have a lot of arthritis, but it's just easy for me to grab this chord this way. Then you can hammer on and pull off as you have the chord here on the E string. So you're basically just hitting 7 to 10, hammering on and pulling off, but with the chord. And then do it on the B string. 8 to 10, hammer on, pull off. But you're doing it with the chord. I like to rake the chord with it. Then back to the B minor. Then it's coming up to the G major 7. Don't be afraid of this chord. It's right within our grasp here within the B minor pentatonic scale. So here's the full chord that I showed you earlier, but we're going to create a little movement up to that. So we can start on the 7th fret of the A string, 7, 9, 10, which goes up to the G note, which is the root, one of the chord tones within that G major 7 chord. A chord tone is just a note within a chord. And we'll target some other ones coming up here. So we're trying to keep the chord somewhat intact. You can let go to do that little hammer-on pull-off, and you're doing it with just barring here the 7th fret of the G and B strings, and then you're hammering on and pulling off on the B string from 7 to 8. But doing it as you're raking this chord. And if you're having trouble doing that, just rake the chord, and then you just do that little hammer on and pull off there. Hit the chord. Or you can play these just one note at a time. So you're just hitting the 10 on the A string, 9 on the D string, 7 on the G string. So you're basically just playing that chord with some movement. And sounds good within the backing track or just playing on your own. Now moving to the F sharp 7 chord. I like to, we're focusing on this root here. So we're in the 9th fret of the A string, but we're going to just walk right up chromatically. 7, 8, 9 on the A string, hitting the chord. Or we can walk right down. With a little movement. 7, 6 on the G, and then 8 on the D, 9 on the A string. So, but those two chords together, see how you can hear the sound of the chord when you play the notes within the chord, the chord tones. So those chords together again, because it's important just to get that little movement and kind of group those chords together. Or you can add that little hammer on in there. So the hammer on. And you can hammer on and pull off 7 to 9 and back to 7. And sliding down to 6 is a great sound. When you do it fast, because we're heading back to B minor, so that it's always good to have some licks in your back pocket. You have something that you're confident with that sounds great. Now we're using the structure of the B minor pentatonic for these phrases, these small lead fills. But there's a couple notes that aren't in the pentatonic scale, but they're right within your grasp. Don't be afraid to venture out a little bit. Just look at those diagrams and you see that the notes are still within that structure. They might have to go one fret one way or the other. Very, very simple though. And then if we just extend to another B minor pentatonic position just for a few seconds, 1 or 2 positions, and get back to home base, it sounds great also. And getting back to home base. I like to call it your home base fill, lead fill. And you can do that at anywhere on the fretboard that has that root. But this phrase here, we're kind of anchoring our first finger on the 12th fret of the B string, and we're bending here in the 14th fret of the G string with our second finger. And then hitting 15 on the B, 14 on the G, back to that home bass note. Slow. And then I'm just hitting a B note, kind of a B.B. King signature thing. This is the 19th fret of the E string. Hey, to kind of look down and count. I just know visually that that's a B note. I don't necessarily, this is I'm going to go to the 19th fret. I don't think of it like that. I see little groupings of the pentatonic scale. I like to use that for my visual structure. A lot of great rock and blues players use that visual. Just see the pentatonic shapes. Just it's just a great visual to see a few of the pentatonic positions and sliding to those. Again, I'll leave a link for the backing track to practice these concepts, but we can easily just grab our guitar, which I love to do, grab it, play these concepts with rhythm and lead fills in mind. Just keeping that groove. Check this out. Just keeping those chord shapes in mind. This is a fun way to play the guitar. But just using the structure of the B minor pentatonic here, just thinking about those chords, but not thinking too much, just having some phrases that you're confident with. Small, simple phrases. If you do the simple things well, you'll have more fun and really have a lot of confidence on the guitar. As always, thanks so much for hanging out with me, and I hope to see you on the next one.